So the main reason I decided to do a second series is, thankfully, my brother Nathan got on board and to replace Matthew as the companion, because last series Matthew did leave and that wasn't, prepared very well, because he gave me very short notice, but with Nathan on, it's actually a lot easier to actually film the stories, because since he is my brother, we live in the same house, obviously, but I can get him at very short notice if I want to, and see if we've even just got like half an hour or something free, and we're in the same room, that maybe I'll do a bit of filming there. But I was keen to continue the series because I was this close to making Mind-Bending the final story, because the thing is, it wouldn't be very interesting if it was just me on my own for every single story. True, I do Dalek voices, and this series I've got Cyberman voices and that, but the fact is, even though there's only two of us, it adds so much more to the adventures and the stories, and I'm so glad that we continued doing this. I decided to try and get the schedule out, because last year there was a whole fiasco of the episodes, unfortunately, not coming out when they're supposed to. They were delayed after delayed, and unfortunately a similar thing did happen this year. We managed to film half the series and get that out all on time, but and I was satisfied. It's just like, oh right, we have this as part one of series 2, and then we have part 2 a bit later on to give us a chance to film it, because I felt like doing Cyberman, we were rushing it a little bit. But I think we left it a bit too late. I think we've left this far too late into the game of doing this. But it has given me more time to rethink ideas and think how things are going to plan out. So we're not rushing it and we're making it the best that I possibly can, and I'm glad for that.
It was a big responsibility, because I used to watch these and think it was good and I would like to be part of it, since I like Doctor Who. And then it just all happened and I started having fun filming.
But for Warcry, that was a lot of things. It was obviously the series opener, but was also the first time working with Nathan within the series. And he's really good in that. He didn't. I asked him, will you look this way, say these lines, look this way, and he just gets on and does it. There's no arguments and that. He just does it. It might be me saying do this, and it technically is, but we work very well together on this. And I think we are both proud of what we've done in this, and also in Warcry. I wanted to bring back the Daleks, because they were a big part of the series and they sort of were left half ended off in the last series, so it's just like, this is what was going on there. So we continued that. And it was also, I decided to make 6 episodes this time, and they were all going to be 2-part stories. Because last year, it was originally going to be 6 episodes. Unfortunately, because of Matthew leaving, I cut out one of the stories, which was going to be called Preparing for War, and it was going to be like a prequel to Warcry, and bits of that just got gelled in and mixed together with Warcry, some of those ideas. And some of them actually got put in mind bending, which I decided to make them double-length episodes. But here, brand new Scar, and it is great. It's great working with him. He's really good. I'm really proud of his acting and that, and he keeps improving as well. So yeah, very, very good.
I think Matthew was a good actor. He put a lot of effort into it, and he made it really seem real. Like when apparently Ryan was dying in it, he made it seem very realistic.
When working on Cyberman, there was a slight issue. I couldn't find my bump and go Cybermat, and neither could Nathan. And so the hilarity of having to edit this in very short. Oh god, they're coming for me. Incredibly short amount of time. I just photoshopped in a picture of a Cybermat and just to zoom in on it, and oh god, didn't turn out. And I didn't have time to do animation as well. And the animations for the monsters and that I did with the Dark Side, they take a long time. So I just use a static image, and that I think it's all. I think it's alright because it's only for a few seconds. But we did film that. Filmed it actually pretty much all within an hour or two, and it works very well. Actually, it was pretty good. But then obviously, then came the big hiatus, and it was a big hiatus for the series. The biggest hiatus the series has ever had within a series. And it's just so annoying that happened. I didn't want it to happen. But I'm I was a full-time student. At the time of recording this, I still am. I might not be by the time this goes out. And so my brother, I'm in sixth form, he's in middle school, again at the time of filming this. So, we have stuff to do in that, and obviously there's a lot of other things happening, so yeah, it got delayed. But at least we got to work more on it, and for me to polish the ideas for the story a bit more.
When I filmed my first episode, I was very nervous. I was shaking. I couldn't really remember my lines. But as it progressed, I knew my lines. I got used to being filmed on camera, and I started to really enjoy it.
So, The Evil Within, that was filmed, part of it was actually filmed on our family holiday to Portugal. It was filmed there in our hotel, and that was filmed back in August 2016. So that was filmed because we had to film it when we were away there. We did all the flashbacks up because I wanted to tell the origins of Six, how he became who he is and that, because you didn't really get that so much in the pilot. So I wanted to tell that, but and I always had the plan on bringing back the evil Rhino, or the evil Six Egg from another universe, bringing him back in this story as well. And part 2 actually was a lot longer. I was considering cutting it down, but I felt that at 17 minutes actually, I think it's better like as it is. Nathan was meant to be in this story, and he was meant to get arrested at get arrested at the end of the story, and this will be resolved in the Christmas special. However, Nathan was not willing to film that day for various reasons. So I decided to put it in Cyberman Part 2. And so that, and he wasn't really absent in the story, because he was in the flashback sequences, which was about a third of the story. So he was in it quite a bit, actually. And Originally, you were meant to see the evil Ryan's face, and then I thought, there's no way on earth I'll be able to get this effect done right. And basically, it's meant to be like the Peter Pratt decayed mask from Deadly Assassin. And I thought, you know what, I'll show the one with his chin, I'll show his mouth a bit. I won't show anything else, so it can be up to the audience to decide what he looks like.
My favourite story is Warcry, because I really, really enjoyed being part of the Daleks. It was fun being taken over by Daleks. It was just really fun to film.
I decided for part 2 of the series to change the title sequence and the title sequence music and try and make it better, because I've had that one for quite a while. It has evolved slightly, the music has changed a couple of times, but essentially has mostly remained the same since 6 Second Adventures started. So for this one, I decided to go for the Colin Baker Trial of the Time Lord sort of title sequence, edited up a bit and then add my imaging to it, and I think it works well, and it shows that this the series is evolving and it tried to making it feel a bit different than it was before. But I'm glad we have a bit of change in there, so it's just not the same old. And I finally made it 16 by 9, so it fits with everything else. You don't go from the pre-credit sequence, which is 16 by 9, suddenly to 4 by 3, then 16 by 9 again, all nice and smooth.
Working with Ryan, he's very easy to work with because he just tells you what to do, you get on with it, and just film multiple scenes in a couple of hours or half hour, whatever, and it's really, really good. Because I don't really have to think much during it. I just know what I have to do, stick to that, and then it's sorted, and he's very good at editing. Apart from maybe Cyberman, that could be questionable. But apart from that, I very enjoy working with Ryan.
So during filming, like midway through, it was during Cyberman, I sort of thought, this is getting very hard to do, and I keep, it's interfering with life a bit. And it is, because it takes a lot to do. It's not easy. And I decided I'll make Series 2 the final full series, because I pretty much, planned out Series 1 but Series 2 pretty much in advance before this rang. I was trying to do series after series. And I thought, right, this is where it leads up to, and that'll lead up there. And so I decided I'll do a special, a 2-part special for my 60th anniversary special, and that'll be it. And I ended on there, and I thought, right, I'll do that. And then plans changed a bit later on. I decided, no, I'll also do a Halloween special. I'll do a Bonfire Night Guy Fawkes special. I'll do a Christmas special. I'll do a New Year's Day special. I'll do an Easter special. And then suddenly reality hit me. It's just like, well, it's good enough you're planning out to do all these specials, but you haven't done any more filming on Series 2 Part 2. So I decided, no, I won't do that. Yes, I did. But I will have a 2-part Christmas special with the second part airing on New Year's Day. I'll do that, just so we have a bit of a gap. Otherwise, it's sort of like lingering so on what was set at the end of the last series. And since I knew that the Christmas special now, will come out, in this case, hopefully, if everything goes planned, the day after Series 2 Part 2 comes out.
My character is very similar to me because he's kind of like, he gets quite angry and frustrated over stuff, but he likes getting in a bit of trouble sometimes, and finds adventure very fun to do.
One of the hardest things actually to do was continuity in terms of clothing, Basically, because I try and get, if I can, I try and film an episode in a day if I can. That's how I work. You think, oh well, if you only film it in a day, how come it took this long to do? Because you don't always get that enough time to do it in a day. Very rarely. The only time I've ever filmed an entire story in a day. In fact, actually, no, I've never filmed an entire story in a day. Actually, none of them, because if I think back to even series 1 with after the attack and 6X Laxia Life, the animation was going before then. So, yeah. And I was also trying to think of ways I can do things, because I'm not working with a budget here really at all. All I've got is the equipment I've already got, which is the camera, the tripods, obviously the figures and that for props. And that's basically it. Overall, I thoroughly enjoyed doing Six Egg Adventures Series 2. It was a lot of fun. I think me and my brother bonded a bit more over this and that, because we both got to work a lot more closely on something like that. And, it's a lot. It is fun. It's also a lot of hard work, but I think I am proud of it. It may not be, I'm not saying it is, the best thing ever. It's not far, far, far from it. But it was, I'm passionate about it. I did it because I wanted to, not because I was getting paid in that, because I haven't. No one's paid me for this. I'm actually, technically I've lost money in this by putting money into the production, so it's just for the pure enjoyment of it, and that I'm very happy.